In 1953, a farm wife in eastern Tennessee fed a family of 6 on $4 a week. She used one cast iron skillet for every meal. She cooked in it for 41 years. Her granddaughter sold it at a yard sale for 50 cents. The meal she made most often is number 4 on this list. Number 11 cost less than 15 cents to make. Number 7 was the meal every resourceful wife made on Monday from whatever Sunday left behind. These 15 meals were not invented by chefs. They were engineered by women who understood that a cast iron skillet and a few cents worth of groceries were the difference between a family that ate well and a family that did not eat at all. Hit that subscribe button. Let us count down the 15 forgotten, poor man cast iron meals from the 1950s that completely disappeared. Number 15. Fried salt pork and milk gravy. Salt pork cost 15 cents a pound in 1952. A farm wife rendered 3 slices until the fat turned golden, stirred flour into the drippings, poured in milk, and ladled thick white gravy over biscuits. That was breakfast in the rural South for 100 years. Today you cannot find salt pork in most grocery stores. Number 14. Hoa cakes. Cornmeal, water, and a spoonful of bacon grease poured into a screaming hot cast iron skillet. 3 cents worth of cornmeal made enough to fill a grown man. Bisquick and Aunt Jemima replaced them with something sweeter and softer. Within a generation, the word hoe cake disappeared from the American vocabulary. Number 13. Liver and onions. Beef. Liver was under 20 cents a pound. Doctors recommended it for anemia. You fried onions in butter until soft, laid the liver in the same pan, and cooked it fast over high heat. Only cast iron could sear the outside while keeping the inside tender. By the 1980s, liver vanished from meat cases. A generation stopped getting their iron from food and started getting it from a pill. Number 12. Fried potatoes and onions. 10 pounds of potatoes cost 35 cents. You sliced them with onions into a cast iron skillet, added lard, and fried them slowly until the edges crisped. That was dinner. The cast iron built a crust on the bottom that you scraped up and mixed into every serving. Frozen French fries from a bag replaced this meal in the 1970s. Number 11. Skillet beans and fatback. A pound of dried pintos cost a dime. You soaked them overnight, simmered them for hours, then finished them in a cast iron skillet with fatback crisping alongside. In the Ozarks, this was Wednesday night supper, served with a wedge of cornbread. Canned beans replaced them, faster, softer, blander, and missing every bit of the depth. Number 10. Red-eye gravy and country ham. A thick slice of country ham fried in cast iron until the salt crust sizzled. Then you poured black coffee straight into the hot pan. The drippings and coffee married into a thin, dark, bitter gravy that tasted like smoke and earth. Country ham cost 39 cents a pound. When drip coffee makers moved off the stove and deli turkey replaced country ham, this meal lost both its reasons to exist. Number 9. Salmon patties. A can of salmon cost under 25 cents, mashed with crackers and an egg, then fried golden in cast iron. The soft bones were pure calcium, and smart mothers crushed them right into the mix without telling anyone. Frozen fish sticks replaced this in the 1960s. Number 8. Chicken fried steak and milk gravy. Cube steak cost 35 cents a pound, pounded thin, dredged in flour, and fried in a cast iron skillet until the crust shattered. Then the milk gravy was made in the same pan from the drippings. Fast food hamburgers replaced it, not because they tasted better, but because they were faster. Number 7. Monday hash. Whatever meat was left from Sunday's roast got chopped with potatoes and onions and fried in a cast iron skillet until the bottom formed a golden crust every family member fought over. You pressed it flat and let it sit untouched for 5 minutes. That patience was the whole technique. It vanished the moment Americans decided leftovers were beneath them. Number 6. Fried apples. In Appalachia, apples were a side dish. Sliced thick in a cast iron pan with butter and brown sugar, they were cooked slowly until caramelized. Apples cost 9 cents a pound. When canned pie filling appeared in the 60s, it promised the same flavor without the effort. It delivered neither. Number 5. Pork chops and potatoes. Bone-in chops at 49 cents a pound. Browned on both sides, sliced potatoes are laid around them in the same pan, then covered and braised on low heat for 30 minutes. One pan, one burner, one complete meal. Boneless chops and sheet pan dinners replaced this and lost the thing that mattered most: the fond, the drippings, the flavor that only comes from meat-meeting iron. Number 4. Skillet cornbread. The king. You heated the skillet screaming hot, dropped in bacon grease, and poured in the batter, and it crackled the moment it hit the iron. 6 cents worth of cornmeal fed a family. No sugar. That was the rule. If it had sugar, it was cake. Boxed mixes replaced it, and the cornbread America eats today would be unrecognizable to the women who built this country on the real thing. Number 3. Creamed chipped beef on toast. Dried beef, torn into pieces, was stirred into a white gravy and poured over toast. It came home from military mess halls after both world wars. A jar of dried beef cost under 20 cents. Today, it is not even a memory. It is a punchline, and that is a loss more people should be angry about. Number 2. Poor man's meal. Potatoes and onions fried in cast iron until golden. Sliced hot dogs were stirred in at the end. A woman named Clara, who lived through the Great Depression, made this famous decades later on YouTube, where over 1 million people watched her cook the same meal she had made since the 1930s. The entire dinner cost less than 50 cents and fed a family of 4. Number 1. Cast iron fried chicken. This was Sunday in America. A whole chicken at 43 cents a pound, soaked in buttermilk, dredged in flour, lowered into a cast iron skillet with hot lard. You fried it slow, turning once, letting the crust build into something golden and shattering. Then you made gravy in the same skillet from the same drippings. Church suppers ran on it. A woman was judged by her fried chicken, and her fried chicken was judged by her skillet. Today, a bucket from a drive-thru has replaced the most important meal in the American kitchen. Here is my challenge. Make one of these this week. Just one. If you still have a cast iron skillet, pull it out. If you do not, find one at a thrift store for $5 and know it will outlast everything else in your kitchen. Then sit down at the table, not the couch. Eat it slow, because every one of these meals was made by someone who believed that feeding a family from one skillet with a few cents worth of groceries was not poverty. It was intelligence. It was love expressed in the only language a hard life allowed. Share which one you are going to make in the comments. These 15 meals did not disappear because they stopped working. They disappeared because we let someone convince us that the pan they were made in was not worth keeping. It was. And so were the women who stood over it.